Italian American, a brilliant, smart woman, again in her 50s, who was the manager of one of my colleagues, another oncologist. Okay. So when she got her cancer, she had lung cancer, my colleague sent her to me. I took care of her. She had surgery, she had chemotherapy, and she was cancer-free. But she understood that lung cancer is something that, people can die from. She decided to retire after her treatment was over. As a matter of fact, this woman, while she was getting her chemotherapy, was working from my office. While the chemo was hanging, she would be on the phone running the office of my colleague. She was so hardworking. But after the treatment was over, she worked a few more months and decided to retire and got a home in Florida. But she had never traveled to Italy. She was born here. So she decided to go and spend 6 months in Italy. She went to Italy, had a wonderful time, and she was returning from Italy to go to Miami, where she had a home. She called me from Italy, and she told me that she was not feeling well. She was coughing, she was having breathing problems, she was having chest pain, and I was really concerned that she had cancer again. She sounded so sick that I told her, please stop in New York before you go to Miami, because I'm afraid you're gonna be so sick over there. Let me see you. She arrives in New York. From the airport, she comes straight to the emergency room. I went down to see her in the emergency room. She was so sick that I put her in the ICU right away. I did a chest x-ray. The cancer had returned and had invaded both lungs. Like 80% of the lungs were full of cancer tumors. I knew that she was gonna die in days, not even weeks. So she's in the ICU. And she is not stupid. She works in an office. She knows what's going on. I explained to her the truth. And now I have to make her sign a paper, which is mandatory in the States, called DNR. Do not resuscitate. Because if in the hospital she stops breathing, we are obliged to put her on a respirator and resuscitate her unless she writes a paper, don't do it. So I'm sitting down, and I explained to her that. And I told her, if we put you on the machine, you're going to suffer and you're going to still die on the machine. You will suffer, your family will suffer. She understands that. And she signed the paper. But then she looks at me. She tells me, Dr. Sarah, I am very mad at my husband's parents. I said, what's going on? Why are you mad about them? She told me, I've been for 4 days in the hospital now. Every day they come, they stand at the door, they look at me and leave. They don't come in, they don't talk to me, and I don't know why they're doing this. I am very upset at them. So I imagined immediately, I knew she was gonna die very shortly, maybe a few days. And I said to her, Julia, tell me, now that you understand you're gonna die, in your family, who is the most powerful person today? She started thinking, and I was looking at her. Because she's brilliant, she told me, me. I said, yes, you are the most powerful, because now if you say anything to anybody, nobody will argue with you. Nobody. They know what you have. Nobody will argue with you. You can do whatever you want. So let me tell you what's going on. I told her, why do you think the parents of your husband are not coming to talk to you? Did they ever fight with you? She said, no. I said, so then why do you think they're doing that? She didn't know. I told her, you know what I think? I think they're not doing that. They're not coming inside because they are so scared. They are so upset. You are the wife of their son. You are the mother of their grandchildren. They love you, but they're paralyzed because they are afraid of what's going on with you. So they stay outside. The fear of your death is paralyzing them. So maybe we can help them. She looked at me, she was like, what are you talking about? She was like wondering what crazy thing I was gonna tell her. I told her, I have a deal for you. She told me, what do you mean? I said, I have a deal. Listen to me. I said, tomorrow, when they're gonna come and stand by the door, you're gonna tell them, please come to talk to me. Invite them to come to your room. And I told her, you're gonna say exactly what I'm telling you to say. You're gonna tell them, I wanna thank you for having me, your wife of your son. I wanna thank you for my husband. I wanna thank you for being his parents. I wanna thank you for my grandchildren who love you and I love you. That's it. She looked at me. She was like, wow. Said to her, listen, if you don't do that, your husband knows you are upset at his parents. And all of you are Italian people. After you die, your husband is gonna be mad at his parents and they're gonna be fighting because of you. While if you make peace with them, they're gonna feel peace after you die. What do you think? She was so excited about this idea. She started smiling to me. I left the ICU. The next day I arrived to see her. The nurses come and tell me, Dr. Sarah, what's going on? This patient signed the DNR and she was happy. Did you lie to her? Did you not tell her the truth? Did you tell her something else? Told them, what do you mean? You know me for 20 years. Did I ever lie to a patient? They said, no, but we don't understand why she's happy. So I told them why she's happy. Told them because she has a plan. She has a plan on how she's gonna die and what she's gonna do with her family. And what happened the next day, the family came and it happened the way I told her. And she died peacefully. So this is another story. If she didn't know the truth, she would not have listened to me at all. So that's again the power, how it gives you, the truth, how it gives you power.